before this movie starts, if Corey Haim was in any fit condition around this time, this film would have been an absolute gem of a comeback. An even twist to Prey of the Roller Boys. Okay, so Steel. Right, okay, so came up the start of this movie, Canadian, you know, there's Canadian funding in it, there's Canadian film in it. And as soon as it said that and it starts off with a rollerblade heist, I literally thought of Corey Haim at the time, like to have a bit of a comeback, because it's pretty weird when you look at this movie. You got Stephen Dorff, who would have just been coming off the likes of Blade. Now Stephen Dorff was amazing in Blade. He literally channeled the Lost Boys into Blade. He is a very, in my opinion, he's a really good actor. But I would say over the last couple of years has really fell off the radar, ups and downs. I mean, he's done some good movies, like there's a film called Break when he's just in the boot of a car. And that's it. But like, you try to explain that to someone, oh yeah, it's a good movie. What happens? He's just in the boot of a car. And it's just like, well, you know, but he's really good in a lot of movies. Natasha Hensright, who is in Ghosts of Mars, Species, Maximum Risk is in this. Bruce Payne is in this as well. And I think that's it. Okay, no, as well. There's a guy who I think is in. He's in Mark McQueen's movie. He's in Beverly Hills Cop. He's got that like lump in the middle of his forehead. He's in there as well. So basically, the storyline is there's three boys and one girl, and they do a bit of heist stuff. And the movie starts off and they're all rollerblading, very cool and slick and stuff like that. And then they go for a second heist and it's a bit more outlandish, you know, and then they start getting sussed out and they get told that they need to start robbing more banks and stuff like that. Now this is the director of Taxi. I think it's this French Taxi Driver, not the remake with Queen Latifah. It's very weird in places. The soundtrack's amazing. You've got stuff like Marilyn Manson on there, but like it's got this very weird yellow, like dull yellow look to it, especially around some of the special effects. So there's some mental bits, like, you know, like going down there the rollerblade. I mean, if you were really planning a bank heist and your escape route's like grinding down loads of rails and jumping off and bouncing off the cars, you think, what the fuck, let's go back to a different plan. But no, it's for a movie. It's very fast paced at the start. There's a lot of turmoil in between it. Just so happens that Stephen Dorff meets Natasha, who's called Karen, in the movie, and she's the new lead detective, and there's a little bit of a sex scene, and I generally would have liked that movie to be an 18 there, because she is beautiful, like, there's no doubt about it. But again, she was known for that Species kind of thing. I mean, again, she plays it really well. So she's trying to get a hold of him. There's a conspiracy about who's telling them. There's like a sort of like a Police Academy 6 thing going on there, where there's a guy, he's got the hat on and everything. You will do this crime for me. It's like the Winston Heights gang. That's what he's doing. He's hired. And there's some really good stunts. There's even like some really comedy in it. There's a bit where a police car ends up going all the way through a bus, getting stuck. And there's a Jamaican like Rasta guy just like bombing along and the music's going, and he's driving along and half the fucking police car's like sticking out. It's just like, what the fuck? It's a pretty big stunt. There is some pretty big stunts in this. There's a big scene where, you know, they do a heist on a bridge, and like there's a bit where, you know, like for scale on this movie, right, so you've got like a massive semi truck, like the new Optimus Prime, not the original Optimus Prime. You've got two of them. You've got a police car and you've got like a security car van. One of the trucks jackknives, it's jackknifing all the way down the road. This other truck, and it's driving and it's doing the whole like up on fucking 12 wheels or whatever it is, and it's just like, and it just goes on for ages. It's up on 12 wheels and it's like full fuel canister, and you're like, what the fuck? Why would you even write that in the script? It's ludicrous. I mean, it's getting us wrong. It's good how they do stunts and all that kinds of stuff, but like, it's kind of weird how they've done it. But then again, it's just where some of the special effects go a bit weird, because there's a guy who basically suffers a horrific death where he gets hit by one car, flies over the next cop car. It looks a bit weird when he does this, and then he goes flying off this fucking bridge holding the police sirens, and it's just like, ugh. But there's some really funny bits. Now there's a lad in it who literally looks like Tom Green. He's got Tom Green's mannerisms, he's got Tom Green's goatee, and there's a bit where he gets chucked out of a window, and the stunt's really, really cool, and just funny when he comes back and you go, where the fuck is he? You know, and like, this movie is like, if I said you drive, and you'd be like, oh yeah, Ryan got no Mark DeCostos, Kadeem Hardison. Like, there's an era of rental films, right, that came along from late VHS and DVD, where they didn't, like, if you didn't see them in rental, they're sort of like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, Mark DeCostos' Drive is fucking amazing. Like, he goes around it kicking people, but again, Drive, and everyone thinks of Ryan Gosling. This is part of that era where if you didn't give it a go when it first came out, it got lost. And like, say for example, you talk about Stephen Dorff in this era, City of Industry is another movie that is just disappeared. You know what I mean? I used to have it on big box VHS and fuck knows where it's gone, but like Stephen Dorff was like, these kind of movies were coming out, and like if you didn't catch them any rental or any form, or even like a limited release. Now Steel, I've never seen it. I've bought it when it first came out. So I remember when it came out, I was like, fucking hell, I bought that full price because I knew from it for rental, and it's been sitting in the collection for ages. Finally got around to watching it, and it's, you know, it's a fucking product for the time. You know, it's fucking stupid things. But like, going back to the start of this review, if Corey Haim, he would still be alive when this was filmed, I think generally it could have been tailor-made for him. It could have been tailor-made for him, just for the whole rollerblade thing at the start. So yeah, I'll see you in the outtakes. So here in the outtakes, there it is. This DVD is completely different from what I remember of the VHS. Stephen Dorff, Natasha Henrik, sorry. Extreme action, extreme thrills, extreme fun, extreme team of cons. The truck there doing a flip. Sick throw. Yeah, pretty cool all around. Stealing the next job. Yeah. Bruce Payne, man. Bruce Payne always comes off as a bit of a creep as well. But yeah. Yeah, it's got some funny bits in. So now, throwaway action movie worth doing. It's just very quirky, but I think again, it might be the French. Well, saying that, it's French Canadian in it, so it kind of like sometimes, you know, that style of European style doesn't really transcend to America, especially if you're trying to film it, but because of different laws and shit, different stunt guys. Like, people are like, oh fuck that, just do it with CGI. Like, no, I want to check somebody off a bridge. No, just do it with CGI, it's fine. Right, bye-bye for now.
And now, the end is here.